Okay. Okay. Welcome to Dear Esther. So last night I got home, finished that, and talked about Dear Esther in that game a little bit. Dear Esther was it's a mod for Half-Life 2 that was was pretty much really renowned for detail and all that stuff. It's really just another narrative-driven game. I'm gonna start from the beginning. 4 chapters, very short game, shorter than Gone Home, a lot shorter.
Dear Esther, the gulls do not land here anymore. I've noticed that this year they seem to shun the place.
Again, I'm streaming
Maybe
at 1080.
it's the depletion of the fishing stock driving them away. Perhaps it's me. When he first landed here, Donnelly wrote that the herds were sickly, and their shepherds
So
the
I
lowest
just
of the
get mouse and
miserable
keyboard.
classes that populate these Hebridean islands. 300 years later, even they have departed.
And there's no buttons. So there is some thriller stuff in here. There's some really abstract or supernatural stuff. I'll try to point out if I can remember. Any chemist would know what that means. I don't know. I'm an anthropologist. So you come up to this island, because fuck it, I don't know anymore. Just the fuck? Looks pretty. Pancakes. So this is wait, can I get yeah. So this is the only tangent you could take. Everything else is pretty linear. Oh. Yeah, whatever. So my goal is to get to that light. Just one on the island. Riveting stuff. I think I actually recorded a long time ago when this game came out, 2012. I recorded a video. And, I don't know, it's back when, it was a long time ago. I think it was back when you could do 15-minute, things on YouTube. Yeah, I got unlimited. It's just real nice, peaceful game. I just really wish it was more open world. I think if you mix this game and Gone Home.
When you were born, your mother told me, a hush fell over the delivery room. A great red birthmark covered the left side of your face. No one knew what to say, so you cried to fill the vacuum. I always admired you for that you cried to fill whatever vacuum you found. I began to manufacture vacuums, just to enable you to deploy your talent. The birthmark faded by the time you were 6, and had gone completely by the time we met, but your fascination with the empty and its cure remained.
So a little fractal desperation. So, like, things, if you ever get in contact with real aliens, there's some things that you can tell that you're not just a complete dumbass. You understand about numbers. Numbers is universal, the language. So 1 plus 1 equals 2. There's nowhere else in the universe where 1 plus 1 equals 3
I have found the
or
ship's
4.
manifest, crumpled and waterlogged under a stash of paint cans. It tells me that along with this present cargo, there was a large quantity of antacid yogurt bound for the European market. It must have washed out to sea. God knows there are no longer gulls or goats here to eat it.
So if you encounter like an alien or some sort of other terrestrial being that you believe to be intelligent, all you have to do is, just you draw some basic math. You understand that 1 plus 1 equals 2, but then it also is drawing fractals, because fractal is a very complex thing. It appears in nature, but it's really complex understanding that, so it's an inverse square law, I think it is, yeah? Yeah, something like that, where it gets bigger and bigger, but still relative. Yeah, so that is twice as big as that, but this is twice as big as that. Or, no, it's whatever. Anyways, maths. I guess it's pronounced maths, too. There's not even sprint buttons in here. Actually, look, hold me. Mouse and keyboard. Disable, ignore, okay, keyboard buttons. Swim up, zoom in is mouse button 1. Okay. Okay. So when you do enter the water, you're told to go back. Look at that water, that's pretty water. Yeah, so you can also think this is like a purgatory or something, because you figure out what happened to you, and then at the end it's really weird. So any supernatural stuff usually occurs at the peripherals of the screen, which is kind of cool. So I think I remember 3. There's one. Okay. But if you see, so just keep an eye on for like the peripherals of your screen. If I usually look at it, it will disappear. The hell?
The mount is clearly the focal point of this landscape. It almost appears so well placed as to be artificial. I find myself easily slipping into the delusional state of ascribing purpose, deliberate motive to everything here. Was this island formed during the moment of impact, when we were torn loose from our moorings and the seatbelts cut motorway lanes into our chests and shoulders? Did it first break surface then?
Weird. Just the atmosphere of the game is pretty cool. It uses a source engine, which is the only thing I like about the source engine is it doesn't add a lot of bloom effects. Oh, actually, I can go up this. Holy shit!
When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boat, and notice and aid, or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this, to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
Oh, it's alcohol. That's what the thing is. It's a chemical. It's for like some sort of alcohol. I forget what it is. You just wish there's more like games like this where it's just explore.
I quote directly.
Proteus was like this.
A motley lot with little to recommend them. I have now spent 3 days in their company, That is, I fear, enough for any man not born amongst them. Despite their tedious inclination to quote scripture, they seem to me the most godforsaken of all the inhabitants of the Outer Isles. Indeed, in this case, the very gravity of that term, forsaken by God, seems to find its very apex. It appears to me that Donnelly, too, found those who wander this shoreline to be adrift from any chance of redemption. Did he include himself in that, I wonder?
So this is made by Chinese Room. This is, again, based off the Half-Life 2 mod of the same name, but it's upgraded with Source Engine, the more modern Source Engine. And then right around the time this game was released, like a couple months after, the people that did Amnesia contacted Chinese Room, and they're, with a corroboration, they're also working with, for, Amnesia. The new Amnesia.
Dear Esther, I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton.
So I can't go up there. It's one way.
We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life. I would leave you presents outside your retreat, in this interim space between cliff and beach. I would leave you loaves and fishes, but the fish stocks have been depleted and I've run out of bread. I would row you back to your homeland in a bottomless boat, but I fear we would both be driven mad by the chatter of the sea creatures.
So I get everything cranked up. What I don't get is, when people say, "Oh, it glows in the dark," it doesn't, like bioluminescent. I don't know, fucking know. Sometimes it's like they say it glows in the dark, but it doesn't. You need a black light. Some bones. Somebody trying to do some voodoo. The fuck? It's the lighthouse I started at. Music's pretty good. Again, I don't have to go there. I just like exploring. This is a good game to take screenshots of. Let's do that. There we go. And that. Wait, what's the? Hold on. Wait, nope. Keyboard, mouse. Okay, it's F5. Okay. I probably in the pictures. So you can also have Steam do pings. You use high-res stuff. Pretty water.
The vegetation here has fossilized from the roots up.
Huh.
To think they once grazed animals here, the remnants of occupation being evidence to that. It is all sick to death. The water is too polluted for the fish, the sky is too thin for the birds, and the soil is cut with the bones of hermits and shepherds. I've heard it said that human ashes make great fertilizer. That we could sow a forest from all that is left of your hips and ribcage, with enough left over to thicken the air and repopulate the bay.
waters are actually really hard to do. Cause like when you see water out there, it's just you just like sort of slider. Like making lakes and stuff. I think, or maybe not so bad anymore. Crisis 1 had the editor was pretty cool. You can actually make lakes and stuff with the editor, the engine, with the level editor. Yeah. But I guess if you have access to the game engine, it's not that bad. One thing I really don't like, I think not enough games do, feet. You know, not all the games do that anymore. But I guess like it's technically easier just not to have feet, because then you have to render that. I saw like a video about how Crisis 2 did its cover system, and it's very hilarious how, because that game you have feet, but it stretches the body and all that stuff, the legs, and if you look for them in third person. So one-way trip. Okay, I think there's an event coming, or it's some sort of supernatural thing.
Dear Esther, I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol.
So it should be up on our left.
But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my Ordnance Survey maps, I simply cannot find the location.
Maybe
you'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn-off for
there he is, right there,
and the welcome brake services. But although I can always see it in my rear-view mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
So it triggers when I look at it. Okay, so it's moving. So there's probably a sensor of something. Yeah, there it is. Good, give me chills. So if I look right at it, it's gone. Like, look at how gorgeous this game is. This game came out at wow. Just like the crisp lighting. A lot of developers are just like, you know, adding color effects. Like Battlefield 3, despite I loving that game, I think what they did with the lighting was, oh, it is right there. It's still going. Yeah, it disappeared. It just it's just so peaceful.
It's only at night that this place makes any sluggish effort at life. You can see the buoy and the aerial. I've been taking to sleeping through the day in an attempt to resurrect myself. I can feel the last days drawing upon me. There's little point now in continuation.
Mooring out there.
There must be something new to find here.
Weird.
Some nook or
really
some
weird.
cranny.
You would never put that there.
Worth clinging
no.
to. I've burnt my bridges. I've sunk my boats and watched them go to water.
Wait, did I come in from the top? Yeah. And I just watched the Indie Game the movie, and I watched the special. Actually, I just watched the special edition, which is $5. Dude, so much extra content, but it's more snippets more than anything else. But they go back. They talk about Braid. They talk about some of the assets and all that stuff. It's like, oh my god, so many sprites for the animation. It was nuts. They talked about Philfish and Fez. Sadly, again, it didn't. It came. The special edition came out before Fez 2 was announced and then canceled because Phil Fish got pretty butthurt. I feel bad for the guy. You know, I mean, I don't know. I don't know him. I've actually never played Fez because I mean, there's that zeitgeist really about it. It's just sad. And his tribulations of Microsoft. This is a fucking detailed boat. Got some life rings. I guess it's not so different when you go fucking 3 feet in front of it. And then the movie talks about Dear Super Meat Boy and some of post mortem of they made it big. One of the guys he was you see he like gained weight. He was a diabetic and so he was on insulin, and I think it was insulin. And so after that they did a so at the end of the game, at the end of the first movie.
I had kidney stones, and you visited me in the hospital. After the operation, when I was still half submerged in anesthetic, your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
So at the end of the game, the movie, the movie, it's on Netflix, and they talk about, oh my god, we're not gonna make it, where the fuck is it? The guy calls up Microsoft, whatever, and they end up making big. And then on the special edition they have they talk about after the guy was like, hey, yeah, my family wasn't doing so well, so their car broke down, so my girlfriend and I
There must be a hole in the bottom of the boat. How else could new hermits have arrived?
And so they he called up a dealer because he was pretty good. He had a lot of money, or he was safe, and he bought him a car, drove it, and surprised his family. And then you see that this guy's so much healthier. It's really funny. And then throughout the extra stuff, that it's not like it's a mix match. It's not nice stream, which is really weird. I thought it was sucks, but it's like segments. Later on in the special edition, you see him 2 days after, and they're talking about, wow, we really can't believe he got it out and all that stuff. I'm so happy, and you see him, he's like, oh my god, he's so frail. I guess he was wasn't getting any sleep and all that stuff, and he was in poor health condition. Yeah. And they got a new game coming out called Mugenics, for the iPad. Ugh. I mean, I do have an iPad now, but Jesus. It's coming out on Steam. And the movie was really good. They talked about Steam a little bit. Some yeah, we'll just put it on Steam. They talked about how the game went really popular on Steam. It sold over 1 million, surpassing
What charnel house lies at the foot of this abyss? How many dead shepherds could fill this hole?
They talked about how it made so much more on Steam and all that stuff, and yeah, Steam is where it's at if you want indie development. Oh, also one of the segments we're talking about Phil Fish was in Fez. He's winning any indie game festival, the IGF, some award for some game coming out, and one of the nominees was Dear Esther. It's weird how IGF works. You could have a lot of those games actually come out to XBLA. So they had Splunky, Super Meat Boy, some Pat Braid, I think. It's been going on for a while, but
I've begun to climb, away from the sea and towards the center.
that's a good shot.
It is a straight line to the summit, where the evening begins to coil around the aerial and squeeze the signals into early silence. The bothy squats against the mount to avoid the gaze of the aerial. I too will creep under the island like an animal and approach it from the northern shore.
Now, where was it? Oh yeah, this is seems great. I guess Greenlight is greenlight to a bane. This would be pretty cool on Oculus.
The bothy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jacobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There's no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either. Three cormorants seen at dusk. They did not land. His house built of stone, built by a long-dead shepherd. Contents: my camp bed, a stove, a table, chairs, my clothes, my books. The caves that score out the belly of this island, leaving it famished. My limbs and belly famished.
The fuck
this
is
skin,
that?
these organs, this failing eyesight. When the battery runs out in my torch, I will descend into the caves and follow only the phosphorescence.
Oh, there's somebody there. What the fuck? I have never noticed that. It's a figure, yeah? Creepy. It's a figure, yeah? And there's the... Is it? Weird. Cool. Never even noticed that one. Some of the stuff does change. I've read, like the finale. It has like 3 different things it shows you. It's still there. Oh god. Chills. Kinda wanna put no clip. Oh my god. Let's see. No clip. Nope. Cool.
What to make of Donnelly, the laudanum and the syphilis? It is clearly not how he began, but I've been unable to discover if the former was a result of his visiting the island or the force that drove him here. For the syphilis, a drunk driver smashing his insides into a pulp as he stumbled these paths, I can only offer my empathy. We're all victims of our age. My disease is the internal combustion engine and the cheap fermentation of yeast.
Oh, I never... So one of the tricks that that developers use is, instead of like creating something like this, so right this guy right here, this is 2 textures in one, so it kind of looks weird from a distance or up close, or they can just make it one sprite where it constantly follows you, so it doesn't look so bad. So all these sprites are technically following you. I always thought that was weird in video games. Oh, when I was growing up, it's so weird. It just never follows
They
you.
found Jacobsen in early spring. The thaw had only just come. Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose. His fingernails were raw and bitten to the quick. They found the phosphorescent moss that grows in the caves deep under the nails. Whatever he'd been doing under the island when his strength began to fail is lost. He'd struggled halfway up the cliff again, perhaps in a delirium, perhaps trying to reach the Bothy's fire before curling into a stone and expiring.
So, screenshot time. Screenshot time. I just like the sounds are really good. Just like the roaring, just like and it's that eerie thing, the eerie weather you get sometimes when it's just like calm and just like maybe too calm, kind of eerie a little bit, a little eerie. Technically, these rocks shouldn't exist. They should be round. There should be no sharp edges, unless they're like volcanic ones, like in Hawaii and Iceland, and in Scotland. There's some rock formations that are it's very geometric.
Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg. I think the femur is broken. It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the Bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end.
The fuck is that?
The medical supplies I looted from the trawler
bird.
have suddenly found their purpose.
Huh.
They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
Whoa. Chills. It's a fucking bag. Crazy. I actually never been down here. Oh god. Jesus. Whoa. Serious chills. Is that the island? One of the things that again tore me away from gone home, whereas they prize themselves on great high-res stuff. There was some really cool stuff, but there was also some like low-res stuff. A lot of the things I noticed was like in books. The bookshelves were like a lot, about 80%, and maybe even 90% of the books were just like you couldn't read the title or the spine. But then there's a few where you can just read them like easily. It's weird. Remember, fear is the mind killer. Somebody needs to go back to the geography or geology. Stalactites need to match up with stalagmites. Also, a form of dating stuff is actually stalagmites. Stalagmites are the ones in the ground. You can use it to determine how old stuff is.
Donnelly's addiction is my one true constant. Even though I wake in false dawns and find the landscape changing and flowing in constantly through my tears, I know his reaching is always upon me.
Whoa. Whoa. Actually, need to get a water. Hold on. Ah. Probably tweaking my back. Okay. Please don't crash on me. There we go. Resume game. I like how I landed safely. The fuck? Is that my flashlight? Huh, yeah, I guess it is. There's that weird noise. Screenshot time. Oh wow. Never noted the moss or the fungus. The fluff. Mold. Lichens. Lichens are... the fuck? Weird. Mushrooms. Cool. Screenshot. That must have sucked putting some of these stalactites and stalagmites together. Because it's like, they're individually put there.
It was as if someone had taken the car and shaken it like a cocktail.
These
The
are
glove
not even.
compartment
These
had
are
been
weird
opened
ones
and
too.
emptied
Like
with
they're
the
supposed to be
ashtrays and the boot.
thinner on the
Made for a
bottom,
crumpled museum.
or it's thinner
shattered
on the top
exhibition.
than on the bottom. Some circuit boards. Wait, I wonder. It is painted. The shadow is actually painted into the texture. You can tell. Weird. Light in video games is always weird. Like dynamic lighting is super fucking weird. It's really weird. I've seen some really bad ones too, like in Path of Exile, where the shadow would come straight for you. Because in the real world, shadows are two-dimensional, and with normal lighting conditions, wait, what? Got turned around. In normal lighting, video games, like just like a static light source, where the fuck do I go? If done right, everything should cast a shadow. Do I actually jump down there? Shit, I don't even remember. I guess I do. Wait, what's the swim button? Cancel. Options. Keyboard, mouse. Swim is spacebar. Cool. Wouldn't this fill up? This should fill up. This should never fill up. This should fill up to the top because there's no drainage. Unless there's a hole down there, that thing should fill up. Unless these rocks are extremely porous. No, even if it was extremely porous, it would still fill up. Because it will become super saturated. The rock can only hold so much. Wait, oh, wait, where was I? Wait. Oh, I was over there. Duh. Oh, Jesus. Almost fell again. Don't worry. Candle doesn't go out in this water. Also, where the fuck is this water coming from? There's no mountains. There's a hill. This game could really use a fucking sprint button. Even on a second playthrough. And
If the caves are my guts, this must be the place where the stones are first formed. The bacteria phosphoresce and rise, singing through the tunnels. Everything here is bound by the rise and fall, like a tide. Perhaps the whole island is actually underwater.
actually, that would explain all the water. Okay. So that's a dead end. Or is that the dead end? They're both dead ends. And there's really nothing there. Again, clearly supernatural stuff, or these guys need to go back to geology. Oh, Mr. Sharp. Whoa. That's cool. Some sort of geode.
This is a drowned man's face, reflected in the moonlit waters. It can only be a dead shepherd who has come to drunk drive you home.
Cool. Screenshot time. So, if you haven't paid attention to the story, what's going on is something catastrophic happened to this guy. That I think we're gonna be thrown underwater. Spoilers? Yeah, spoilers. Screenshot time. Hold on. Reposition here. I like how my frame rate doubled by not moving. When this game came out, a lot of people were upset, like, this is not a game, this is blah blah blah, and total biscuit. I'm not a fan of him. I find him very appalling. I find him, I don't know, he bitched at this game for not being a game, and this is not a video game, blah blah blah. Like, I straight up said, I posted in the comments, like, I don't think you're giving this game, I mean, it's not a bad game. It's not. I mean, you have to. Gone Home got some, like, a lot, Giant Bomb, Polygon, bunch of other guys just gave it, like, huge ratings, like, and I played it, I finished it, like, I mean, it's a good game, but giving it 10 out of 10 or 5 stars for what it is, shit, that's a little bit too much. Whoa. Was I supposed to do that? I guess so. Screenshot. But I mean, it's just, I mean, if you throw it in the context of comparing games, you know, reviewing games, this way, you know, reviewing games is kind of stupid. Last time I was here, there was a car. And, like, he was like, you know, Total Biscuit was like, oh, this game's horrible. And I'm like, I posted a comment like, I don't think you should be saying this. You're bashing a game you do not understand. That's like talking to a guy that doesn't know anything about English literature. And, you know, and he's calling Shakespeare, or, you know, whatever, Shakespearean literature horrible. Victorian literature horrible. Not Shakespearean, Victorian literature. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? No. You have to judge it versus something else. Like, I mean, you know, whatever. I don't care. It's just, then I got trashed for saying, fuck you, you know. You don't know what you're talking about. This guy knows what you're talking about. It's like, no, he doesn't. He doesn't know anything about anything. He's a dumbass. He's a nice guy. Fuck him. Or bitch about it. It's like, yeah, but this game's not bad. It's just like you're reviewing this game, telling it's shit, and it's just bad taste. You cannot understand the game. Don't play it. Don't make a video about it. You're just trolling. I think we're on the final stretch here. Yeah, we are. Okay. I think we got one more? Two more? God. Oh, God. Right here, right here. Screenshot? There should be something coming up on the mountains, maybe. Something. gorgeous moon.
I wish I could have known Donnelly in this place. We would have had so much to debate. Did he paint these stones or did I? Who left the pots in the hut by the jetty? Who formed the museum under the sea? Who fell silently to his death into the frozen waters? Who erected this godforsaken aerial in the first place? Did this whole island rise to the surface of my stomach, forcing the gulls to take flight?
I cannot wish they sold the soundtrack separately. Just the lighting in this game's great. Okay, yeah. Right there. That's it, right there. I think there's something up there. There's something up there. Like a shadow. I wish I could crouch in this game. So we're coming on to the end. Very short game. I think it's $10 on Steam. Yeah, $10 to Steam. I think Gone Home should have been $10. I mean, 15 is push it. But other than that, it's just it's a lot. I mean, you compare that to a movie. I mean, you have to compare it to a movie because it plays like a movie. It's very linear. Oh, there it is. There it is. See that? Right there. That's a good mood.
I returned home with a pocket full of stolen ash. Half of it fell out of my coat and vanished into the car's upholstery. But the rest I carefully stowed away in a box I kept in a drawer by the side of my bed. It was never intended as a meaningful act, but over the years it became a kind of talisman.
Damn it, I can't.
I'd sit still.
Fucking hell.
I'd still for hours, just holding the diminishing powder in my palm and noting its smoothness. In time, we will all be worn down into granules, washed into the sea and dispersed.
Fucking meta commentary. So peaceful. I really wish the music would have not stopped. The hell? Oxidized rocks. Interesting. Very interesting. Is that guy still there? Ah, fuck it. Whoa. Okay, so what's been happening is, this guy, he got in a drunk car accident and killed a guy. So the chemicals were alcohol. It's circuit boards for like a braking system or the braking system for a computer, for the car, that failed also. I don't know. It's weird how drunk drivers always survive a car accident. It's, you know, I mean, It's kind of fucking fucked up. It's a God saying, hey, you fucked up, now deal with it. But, well, it's not. I mean, you can take it like that. I'm not a religious person, but if you want to preach your own thing, preach, but don't preach to people that don't want it. Become off as a butthead. Yep, no, it's gone. Proteus, yeah, Proteus was like this. Very, not much video game, just really arts out, great music. Oh, there it is. It's back again. Oh, there's that car. Huh. That's why I think this. It's an analogy for for purgatory. Yeah. Here's our medical supplies. Because there's nothing really living here except for shrubs. I think there's something around here, yeah? Maybe? Maybe? No. I mean, like, for some reason, shit's like, my memory's kind of blending in with another game, I'm thinking. This screenshot. Oop, oop. Is that just a barrel? No, that's a fucking... It's an axle. Jesus. Fucking chills. I think I should be able to see that figure walking up. There it is, yeah, there it is.
Hall by the roadside, by the exit for Damascus, all ticking and cooled, all feathers and remorse, all of these signals routed like traffic through the circuit diagrams of our guts, those badly written boats torn bottomless in the swells, washing us forever ashore.
Ah, crap, I gotta take a piss again. God damn. I drink so much water. It's good for you. And it's actually can be bad for you. I mean, in the sense that it's extra weight.
From here, I can see my armada.
How?
I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic, and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
Oh yeah, the sun was up when I restarted this game. Screenshot. 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 Nah. Screenshot. Screenshot. Here we go. Yeah. Why not? On a sudden light from heaven, home around him, and he fuck it, can't read. So this is a boat ramp, and this is not how you have a boat ramp. At high tide, it should be up to here. Whatever. Screenshot? No. Let's move on. We're wrapping up here. Final few minutes of this game. I hope it's been a fun journey. I don't know, I mean, I have no regrets of playing this again. I think it's cool. I think I found some new stuff. Sadly, a lot of people hate this game because it's not a game, and you know, it's like it doesn't have an objective. Blah 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 blah. But it's more art. It's narrative-driven story. It's like Myst, but without the puzzles. Myst is fucked up. I think I finished it, but it bugged out. Maybe.
I will drag my leg behind me. I will drag it like a crumpled hatchback, tires blown and sparking across the dimming lights of my vision. I'm running out of painkillers, and am following the flicker of the moon home. When Paul keeled over dead on the road to Damascus, they restarted his heart with the jump leads from a crumpled hatchback. It took 21 attempts to convince it to wake up.
Oh, where the fuck was I? Oh my god, where was I? Shit. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. God, oh god. Yeah, fuck it. Is that something there? That's a rock.
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. You can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
Move text. Screenshot time. Such a gorgeous game. It's good that there's indie games. I like indie games. This just allows them to do anything. And, you know, and you know, you can't do this with the AAA. You can't do this with, like, you know, Bungie can't do this. Battle Dice can't do this. Gearbox, BioWare, maybe? No, they can't. But it's up to indie, where you get Gone Home and Dear Esther to come up with these very strongly narrative games, and you learn about something. Gone Home, it's pretty. It got pretty
weird. If only Donnelly had experienced this, he would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I. Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
It's really weird. I mean, if you're halfway through it, your mind will think it's going in one way, but it's not, and then at the very end, your mind thinks of another way, and then it doesn't. It's very, you know, it's a weird game. You almost want this to be on rails.
The stones in my stomach will weigh me down and ensure my descent is true and straight. I will break through the fog of these godforsaken pills and achieve clarity. All my functions are clogged, all my veins are choked. If my leg doesn't rot off before I reach the summit, it will be a miracle. There are 21 connections in the circuit diagram of the anti-lock brakes. There are 21 species of gull inhabiting these islands. It is 21 miles between the Sanford Junction and the turn-off for home. All these things cannot, will not be a coincidence.
So it leads me to believe, that's new revelation, that this place is purgatory. Take a screenshot here. That's a good one. Here we go. Just the effects, the particle effects, and the lighting from the candles, really cool. Just a nice eerie kind of a hue to it too. I like crisp shaders. Sometimes shaders are good when used right. I like Wind Waker. I thought it was the greatest Zelda game ever. With this HD thing, it looks like they're just adding bloom. You know, like turn up the bloom splatter a little bit too much. I mean, this fucking scene with Twilight Princess. I thought the bloom was really too blown out. Maybe I need to replay that game. But I don't want to hook up that fucking shitty ass game controller console. Third time's the charms.
Blind with panic, deaf with the roar of the caged traffic, heart stopped on the road to Damascus. Paul sat at the roadside, hunched up like a gull, like a bloody gull, as useless and as doomed as a syphilitic cartographer, a dying goat herd, an infected leg, a kidney stone, blocking the traffic bound for Sanford and Exeter. He was not drunk, Esther. He was not drunk at all. All his roads and his tunnels and his paths led inevitably to this moment of impact. This is not a recorded natural condition. He should not be sat there with his chemicals and his circuit diagrams. He should not be sat there at all.
Welcome. This is the end. Oh man, why do I keep on having... This game does not try to be eerie, but it can be eerie. There is a guy...
We will leave twin vapor trails in the air. White lines
I
etched
guess he
into
didn't
these
show up.
rocks.
Maybe there's supposed to be a guy around here.
Dear
Whoa,
Esther, I have burnt my belongings,
I'm
my
not controlling
books,
this.
this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakobsen? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him. There will be another to these shores to remember me. I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an aerial, a beacon, that they will not forget you. You've always been drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jakobsen flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland, where help will be sent.
That's it. That's Dear Esther. And your bird. I think if they added, maybe come back to this, maybe added like head bob or something. I don't know. Maybe add some more like effects that make it feel like you're actually there. Other than that, it really feels like you're just pressing forward. I don't know. I'd rather actually have it like this. I'm okay paying $10 for this screensaver. That's pretty cool. Maybe add some more dialogue. I don't know, maybe in a sequel or something. I don't know. Maybe somebody else. I can't control anything. Thanks for watching. Dear Esther. Out now on Steam. $10. $9.99. $14.99 for soundtrack. With soundtrack. Dear Esther and soundtrack. What? What's going on? I don't see anything. I'm getting shit ton of frame rates, dude. I'm getting 140, 150. Escape? Okay. Thanks for watching.